So today we have one of the most terrifying things in horror that has come out to date, and that is, Jonathan, the new Shrek trailer. It's absolutely terrifying what they've done with this animation.
It wasn't the kind of animation I was expecting, but you know what? I mean, I don't know. I want to give it a try. I think they went the right way with like the Puss in Boots and the Last Wish. Did you see that? Did you watch that one?
No, I never saw it, but I heard there was like super good things.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. Like really good story, really good characters, really good animation, and it's obviously off of a franchise we loved. I think what makes Shrek good is that they were actually trying to be funny, or like not they weren't trying, but I feel like now like Shrek has become such a big thing. It's like, yikes.
Yeah, no, it looks totally weird. It looks like a fan film or like it's AI generated art, because you look at the beginning and they're like showing funny images of Shrek.
Yeah, like
they look like AI images.
Hey guys, we know the memes. We know Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
It looks so weird. So that's like the most terrifying horror thing to come out to date. Okay, so if any of you are joining us for the first time, welcome to Fear Talk Radio. This is a podcast where me and my co-host Jonathan talk about everything related to horror. We go through the news, new things coming out in horror. Then we also talk about scary stories, and we read one of them at the end of every episode. So yeah, this is where you can come to find everything horror related, and we're happy you're here today. How are you doing today, Jonathan?
You asked me how I was doing. How do I want to answer that?
Yeah, I'm leaving this in.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just, working. We've been talking a little bit about like what we want to do for like wedding planning. I don't think we're going to do anything like too big. I think we just want to go out maybe out of the country, and then just have like a big ass party when we get back, or like before, or whatever.
That's understandable. I know weddings are super like stressful in general. But yeah, you're going to have to keep us updated, because now we have the wedding art going on with the show, because you told everyone last one last one I said I got engaged, and then I mean, like, there's not really much to say that is happening. It's just more, this is what's going on. Like, and there's no date. And that's the thing. Like, as soon as I got engaged, like, everyone was like, so when's your date? Was I supposed to have a fucking date already? Like, holy shit. No, I think people just get excited, so they want to know, like, when's the next thing?
Well, here's the thing. You're not fucking invited. Like,
wait, me? I asked you.
No. I'm talking about the people who are asking me. Like, for the date, like when it's family, sure, but like when it's just like random people, like, so when's the date? Like, what date did you choose?
Yeah, no. Well, I better be there. Is there anything you want to ask me?
When are you getting engaged?
That's not the question. I was looking for how are you, Taylor?
Nah. Don't really feel like asking that. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not really interested today.
But no, how are you doing? I know you've been fucking busy.
Yeah, life's pretty busy right now. For those of you who don't know, I'm currently finishing up a master's degree, and I'm getting finished with my final semester. Therefore, I'm like trying to figure out what comes next and everything that comes along with that. Therefore, I'm not so much as behind on podcast recordings, but I've been slow on like the TikTok uploads and whatnot. Like, so that's been something I've been trying to fix. But like, it's just been super busy lately. I am happy to be back recording though. So we also did something in the meantime for your channel that has yet to go up, but will be going up at some point this year, and it's pretty horror related. I experienced Undertale for the first time, which is an old game, but I had never tried it out before. Jonathan, can you tell them exactly what we did?
Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't, or if you came on this channel and, maybe this is your first time, or you've been here for a little bit, and this is the first time you're hearing about Undertale, and you're probably like, oh, what the hell? Like, this isn't a horror game. Like, Undertale's not a horror game. While, yes, I think you're correct, it's not a horror game. I do think it does have a lot of horror elements to it, with like psychological horror.
I completely
If I
agree.
could say, I definitely think that it has a lot of fear factor with like messing with like your game files, messing with like your PC, or if you're playing it on like the consoles. It doesn't exactly mess with them. Like, it's not going to like do anything like drastic, but it does like it knows how to automatically like crash your game and make you restart. Like, it knows how to it basically does that. And it breaking the fourth wall a lot, you know, like knowing that it's a game with certain characters. I'm not going to go too much into spoiler territory, but basically what me and Taylor did is there's a co-op mod, and you can easily look it up on YouTube, just how to do a tutorial. You could either do it with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. 4 is the max from what I know. But me and Taylor, so what me and Taylor did is me and Taylor did a 2-player one. So I obviously will be playing the main character, and Taylor is there, but he's basically like another character with me. So it basically creates the mod where it's like it knows that there's 2 people instead of there just being one fallen child. And I think it was really fun. I had a lot of fun playing the game for the first time with you. Like having someone else like be like, instead of just watching them and kind of like guiding them on where to go, what to do. It was actually a lot of fun to be with that struggle with you. And if it was something that you couldn't complete, I could be there and show you how to do it instead of just being like, okay, well, let me just watch you and tell you what to do, you know?
The game itself is super fun. So what he's saying, he's talking about, the original game is solo, but the co-op mod that we had really tailored the game to both him and I. And so the game was aware that there's 2 players playing, and the whole way through, breaking the fourth wall, that whole like aspect of the game is super cool. And if any of you don't know, there was a game that came out around the same time that this gives me very similar vibes to, and I don't know if you agree with this, but we'll see. Doki Doki Literature Club.
I was just thinking that.
It, it gives me the same vibes as Undertale, yet it's a very different game, but they both break the fourth wall and speak to the player directly, and I think both of them do it in a very effective way.
I think something too that Undertale has going for it is it makes you care a lot about the characters. Also, just want to clarify too, Taylor hasn't done the genocide route yet. So he hasn't really done this not like more the scary run, but like he hasn't done the bad run yet.
So for those of you who don't know anything about Undertale, there's different ways you can play the game. Therefore, like, you can go through it and not murder anyone, which would be considered the pacifist run. And then there's a genocide run where you murder every single person. And what happens in the game actually changes based upon your actions during the game. So if you don't kill anyone, people will treat you differently than if they did. And there's actual like complete story components that alter in each playthrough. So we did the pacifist run where we didn't kill anyone, and the next one will be where we murder everyone. One thing that is top notch in Undertale is the music. The music throughout the entire game is like awesome, and it's super memorable. And I actually think that this is a large component to why this game has so much appeal and has so much like power to bring people back, because even if you're not playing the game, you could be walking around, as I've done before, now listening to the soundtrack and just enjoying different tunes, because and then you're thinking about the characters that it's so cool. It's so cool. And here's what I have to say about horror too with Undertale is that I think the reason that a lot of people actually do enjoy Undertale as a game is that it's structured, especially at the beginning, to where it doesn't seem like a horror game. But it quickly, or I shouldn't say quickly, but it quickly at the end dives into more horror elements. With these horror elements, I think we learned it in psychology classes whenever I was doing my undergrad, that if you can evoke like a fear response, that's going to make people find it much more memorable. And so I think that the unexpected fourth wall horror elements to the game really bring people back and back and back to this like rich story driven game.
Yeah. And it's one of my favorite games. Like it's definitely a top 3 game for me. I've always loved it, and Taylor's always known that I loved it. And it's kind of hard to like tell somebody to watch it or play it or do anything with it, because there is a lot of weird stuff with people, who like it. It's kind of like My Hero Academia, the anime, where it's like it's a really good show. Like it has a lot of good elements to it, and I love the story. I love the the atmosphere, the plot, the setting, everywhere. But it has just a weird fan base.
The fan base ruins a lot of
Yeah.
things. But I mean, that's not particular to just Undertale. I mean,
Yeah.
you see fan bases like ruin many
I mean,
genres.
that's the biggest thing. Like it ruins a lot of fan bases and ruins a lot of things. I would even say like One Piece is kind of getting to that point now where it's because it's becoming so much more popular, and everybody's just like hopping on One Piece. Like
Yeah.
oh my god, like you don't watch One Piece, or God forbid someone say they don't like it. But
Oh yeah.
I have a friend who literally, she will not play Undertale because she says she had a friend that really enjoyed it who was toxic. And
Oh man, that sucks.
I hate that. I hate that, but I can't blame her, like I wouldn't want to associate with someone who I had bad experiences with something they liked, I get it, but to me, you're missing out on a wonderful, like, life-changing game, in my opinion.
I agree, especially if you go into it and like you're not expecting anything to happen. I mean, I'm not giving spoilers, but whenever there's a specific ending that you get to, and the art style changes, and that's as far as I'll go with that.
The
But
music
like
changes.
the music changes, the art style
atmosphere.
changes. I got chill, dude. I got chill bumps whenever this giant change at the end of the game occurs. And so, okay, let's put a bow tie on this, and let me tell you all to go watch. Go play Undertale, and whenever this releases on Jonathan's channel, we'll be sure to give an update here so people can go watch it.
Yes.
Also, we don't plug your channel enough. Go check out JDJ619 on YouTube. He's got a whole bunch of horror playthroughs. Jonathan, JDJ619, linked in the description below. Make sure to check him out. Cool. Okay, let's move on to our news. We have a couple new movies and TV shows we are to talk about today. The first being Screamboat. This is the long-awaited Steamboat Willie horror movie that is based off of the Mickey Mouse character that recently went in public domain. So I don't know if you're familiar, but Mickey Mouse has not gone into public domain. But Steamboat Willie, who he is based upon, that Walt Disney created, is in public domain now. So here, I'll read a little bit about that.
Before we get in,
Walt Disney,
before we sorry, I gotta ask: is this joining the Pooverse?
even if it's not joining the Pooverse, this movie is in the Pooverse in my head canon.
I'll take it.
It's yeah. I don't think it's joining the Pooverse, but it's joining it in my head canon.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna actually watch the trailer right now, Jonathan and I. I'm gonna sprinkle in a couple clips while we talk about it, just so you guys can see it. But we will be right back. Oh gosh.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Oh gosh. Okay, so you're seeing clips right now from the trailer. We just watched it for the first time.
Oh my god. It looks bad.
I don't know. It looks really bad.
It looks like they just found out that the Steamboat Willie became public domain, and they're like, "Bro,
Yeah.
hear me out. I have an idea."
It looks really bad. Okay, so I mean, it is listed as a comedy horror film, and it's being directed by Stephen Lamort. Lamort. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's a horror reimagining of Walt Disney's 1928 animated short film Steamboat Willie. So in this trailer, you see different depictions of Steamboat Willie, who is actually played by David Howard Thornton, who is the clown from the Terrifier movies. He's Art the Clown. And so an amazing horror actor who knows how to bring a comedic flair to a role. I find that super fun for this role, especially. But that doesn't change the dynamic that this looks like a terrible movie.
But I feel like what makes him good is because he plays Art the Clown, where he's not talking. Art the Clown doesn't talk. From what I understand, I haven't seen all the second one or third one, but I think it's more of his presence and the way he portrays that character and how he makes it come to life. I think that's what makes him a good actor with that. That doesn't mean that because you say he was playing Steamboat Willie, right?
He's playing the mouse, yeah.
The mouse, yeah, or whoever. I don't. I mean, you could have told me that Chucky was playing that character, and I would have been like, okay, like it doesn't make it a good movie.
Let me read this this quote from the director Stephen Lamort. I'm so excited to share our mischievous monster mouse with the world. Screenboat is my way of paying homage to Disney while putting a sinister yet comedic twist on the classic. Watching David Howard Thornton bring Steamboat Willie to life with the magicians at Quantum Creation FX has been nothing short of amazing. He's hilarious and murderously entertaining. I can't wait for audiences to meet Willie and experience the chaos we've created. So, I mean, maybe I don't think he's fully like taking it seriously, and he's just wanting to have fun with it.
Again, I think it was one of those ideas that like where they just found out about it and they're like, yo, let's do this. Like, let's make it as quick as we can and release it as fast as we can. And like,
Yeah.
it looked like it had a very small budget. Like, I can't imagine it having like a more than $1 million budget.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I can actually look up the budget right now.
I swear to God, if you say some shit like it had a budget of $50 million,
$2 million.
Okay, I mean,
so you're pretty close.
Yeah, If it had like over 10 million, I was gonna be pissed. I would have been pissed. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, a budget of 2 million, and I think that quite honestly, you can see that a little bit, but that's okay. I'm interested. I am actually quite interested in this film. They said, so here's kind of what happens in the movie. It's the story of a late night ferry ride in New York City where commuters and deckhands and all the usual passengers are attacked by a murderous and mischievous mouse that is mean, tiny, and loves getting up to no good. That's the premise of Screamboat. Not Willie. It's just Screamboat, I think. But it's coming out April 2nd, 2025. So, and it's coming to theaters, which is fun. It's not going straight to DVD.
That sounds fun, yeah. I will not go watch that.
I probably won't either.
There's a lot of movies we talk about on here that we're like, yeah, we're not going to fucking watch that.
We just like make fun of it and then we move on. Cool. Okay, but there is something I think you and I will both watch that you've brought in today that looks really interesting.
Yeah, I don't have the doc pulled up, but I think I know what you're about to say.
Alien Earth.
Yep.
It's a new Alien TV show that's coming out on Hulu.
On Hulu is sometime in the summer. That's all we know as of right now, I think. I don't think there's a release date.
Summer of 2025, yeah. And it's taking place on Earth. I do know that.
Oh really? I thought it was going to take place on Saturn. But no. Apparently, the show is supposed to take place, I think, like 2 years before the main events of Alien. So it is another prequel kind of show, but like it's supposed, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be its own thing. It's not supposed to be a spinoff of like Prometheus and Covenant. It's not going to have anything to do with like, you know, the Ellen Ripley storyline, like none of that. But I like the idea. I think I like the idea of it being on like a whole planet. Like Covenant kind of did that, and like Prometheus did it, but Prometheus did it in a way where it felt more like horror element because they're actually in an underground facility and not like the outside area, where Covenant kind of did it, but like I don't think it did it too well. Now we're coming into an area where it feels like familiar territory with, you know, where the alien is going to be. And like from the teaser that we saw, the only thing that we really know is that there's an alien in a ship that's like that the ship is crashing down to Earth, and that's kind of all we know. I haven't seen any other trailers, at least ones that are like official trailers for it. Or I haven't seen anything like officially said by someone who like is doing something for the show. I don't even know if like Ridley Scott is even doing anything with it. I don't even know if he's a part of it. But we do have a list of characters that are going to be in the show. We have we're going to be following Sydney Chandler as Wendy, a woman who has the body of an adult and the consciousness of a child.
Oh, okay. Dude, that's what I loved about Romulus is that if you have protagonists that aren't just like dummies and you give them such like cool backstories and whatnot, like especially like what was the cyborg's name?
I don't remember.
The cyborg in Romulus had such a cool character. Yeah, such a cool character. And if you give like I think characters are like the central part of how you make a good horror movie, because it can be very like crappy if you just focus on kills. Terrifier falls into this problem a little bit of like not having good characters and just having really fun kills, quote unquote fun kills, and like a cool antagonist. By the way, Noah Hawley is the director for the upcoming TV
I saw that
show.
Yeah,
so just giving credit to him for that. But what was are there any other characters that we know anything about?
There's a list of them. I'm going to butcher this last name, Timothy Olyphant as Krish, Wendy's mentor and trainer. There's we have Alex Lawther as CJ, a soldier. It just says a soldier. And then there's many others. Like you can obviously go on Wikipedia, you could like look at it yourself or just wherever. But I think from the name, I don't know if we because I'm looking at the main girl and I'm looking at what she's been in before. And it doesn't look like there's too many roles that she's been in. So like it looks like she's been in like a few shows from here and there. One called Pistol, Sugar, Scam Austin, and then a movie called Don't Worry, Darling. And it doesn't really look like she's been in too many like big things, at least to me, because I don't know. So I'm glad that they're bringing in like someone who's not, because I'm kind of getting tired of the whole like, oh, it's fucking Zendaya, or like, that's probably a hot take. I love Zendaya. Do not get me wrong. I love Zendaya.
Jonathan, are you making a reference to the new horror trailer that dropped of the Shrek 5 trailer?
Oh my God.
And the fuck
Zendaya? Yes. Yeah. I don't like that they formed that as a question.
And Zendaya?
And Zendaya? The fucking the Tim Allen grunt.
I know.
Like
that's good.
Like I don't get it. Like, why are we doing that? Like, why are we forming it as a question? Like, Zendaya's gonna be in this movie? Like, I didn't know that.
Eddie Murphy and Zendaya?
Dude, Mike Myers is gonna be in this? Like, I didn't know that.
Dude, I want to be the voice for the Shrek trailer. They need to let me voice it. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Zendaya. Oh, I could do it.
I don't like that they formed it as a question. But no. Let me get back to what I was saying. I'm glad that they were doing, like, obviously, yes, these are talented actors, but they are the kind of actors where they're in everything. And sometimes I want to see new faces. I want to see new people. And I don't know. You know, I will say I did make a joke about the Purge movie, or the Purge show, might I add, that I made a comment about where it was probably bad or had bad ratings because it was on Hulu. I am going to retract that and now be like, I think Alien Earth will be pretty good. But
I
I
think
don't
Alien Earth
know.
could be big on Hulu.
But knowing that like Ridley Scott is probably not having anything to do with it, I don't know. I think that's what makes those good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want this to be an AVP situation,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, whenever I see Alien Earth, that's the only alien thing that we've had on planet Earth is the AVP two movies, Requiem and the
Yeah.
original one, and both of those were fun. I will say they were fun, but it wasn't good.
To me, it's kind of like the whole like Bungie and Studio 43, whatever 343, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah. For
Halo.
the Halo games.
Yeah, like Halo, like 1 through Reach were all Bungie, and then 4 and past were like a different studio, and they just could not get that magic the same way that Bungie did.
I think, yeah, you see this especially whenever like another company or leadership changes, is that it becomes, you can feel it in the product whenever something becomes very like financially driven instead of like passion driven.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's not me saying that it's their fault either. Don't get me twisted up on that. Don't think I'm like hating on anything like that. I think they can do good things, but I think if you don't have the help of the original content makers, I think you're going to have a lot of trouble finding that flair that what makes those, projects really good.
Yeah, and this was a big problem with the new Star Wars films is you need someone on site who is, you need a couple people on site who are legitimate lore experts in something, and I think you need this with Alien because the Alien lore is now expanding pretty wide. You need lore experts on site to just make sure like everything is within like the atmosphere and canon of Alien itself. This can't happen with Wayland, that can happen with Wayland, and this time frame. You need people to check you on that, and so I'm hoping that it stays within the canon and doesn't break anything, or if it does introduce new like abilities the alien has or new like variants, it does it in a way that makes sense.
I do like that they add new variants, like especially when
That's
like
cool.
especially
That's
in
cool.
the third one. I give it a lot of shit, but the one thing I can say that they did really good was when the alien went into the dog or the facehugger, like got the dog, and there was a dog version of the alien, and I think that was really cool. You know, like I thought that was a really cool concept of what we learned about the alien, that it doesn't just form into a xenomorph like that looks just like that from coming out of humans and other stuff. It basically forms what it comes out of. So like imagine a fucking xenomorph coming out of a goddamn rhinoceros or an elephant or some shit, you know?
Well, here's the fun thing about it too is that the aliens are made, they're bioengineered weapons. Therefore, like they should be able to like impregnate any like animal and then create these alien like beings. So it makes total, that canon wise makes so much sense that it could do that to a dog.
Let's not get too sidetracked on this. Let's go on and move to the next.
Oh, I do want to. Okay, I've never talked about this on the podcast, but I do want to show one thing real quick.
Sorry for all you Spotify listeners that are not going to be able to see what it is, but Taylor will hopefully describe what it is.
Okay, I'm back. I have something to present to everyone because I think it's if you are into anything alien related, this is completely worth getting. Me and my girlfriend Cameron have had so much fun playing it. We've beaten it multiple times. It has, we haven't gotten any expansions yet, but this thing, this is. This is a board game called Nemesis, and it is so much fun. It's a very complex board game, but it comes with little. Let me show you the figurines. It comes with like a map of a space station, and you're basically trying to escape the space station as you are being attacked by aliens and whatnot. Let me just show you one figurine, and so you have a whole bunch of different aliens and whatnot, and you can paint them and do whatever you'd like with them. Yeah, but it's super cool. I haven't painted any of them because I feel like I'm just gonna screw it up. But it's a super fun board game. I don't think I've played it with you yet, Jonathan. Have I?
I've never seen.
I played
this.
it with. Oh, I played it with my other co-host for the channel, Tyler. Me and him played it one time, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. You get to be different characters. You can be a soldier, like a medic, a pilot, and it's really fun. And it's based off of the Alien franchise. Cool. Okay, so With that out of the way, our next film on the docket is, drum roll, Saw 11. Who could have guessed?
Yes! We needed another Saw movie. Oh my god, I gotta know what John Kramer's been up to, man. Like, who else fucked him over?
I'm putting you in a game because you slighted me one time in my life. You never held the door open for me. Now, this door will come down on your fingers and remove every single one of them if you can't take this key out of your forehead in time. Okay, so
hell.
Saw 11 is an upcoming American horror film, and it's the 11th film in the Saw franchise, and it's set to release on September 26, 2025. In December of 2023, so this is a while back, Saw 11 was announced by Lionsgate Films with a release date of September 27th, 2024 being announced. It has since then moved to 25, so we've seen some delays, and this is actually added to some speculation that this film's never going to come out. People on Reddit have been talking about it, and there's actually a source coming from Saw, a production of Saw 11, that's saying it's not happening. Let me read this real quick. A reliable source tells us that it looks highly unlikely that Saw 11 will meet its new September 2025 release date. It has been hinted that there are significant problems behind the scenes, and unless something major changes, Saw 11 won't come next fall. Little info was given as to what the issues are, but the lack of movement from Saw 11 could be due to Lionsgate, who's recently been experiencing a financial crisis. After having lost $100 million this past summer due to underperformance of several high-profile releases, it's plausible Saw 11 could be put on the back burner. It's looking bad for this next Saw movie due to the problems Lionsgate is going through. Mm-hmm. We have drama. This is some drama.
Yeah. I give it to someone else. Stop. Make something else. Why are we going 11 movies into this shit?
Well, and then, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Spiral?
Yeah. The one with
Spiral.
Not Chris Tucker. Chris Rock.
Yeah, there's Spiral and Jigsaw, and are those a part of the 11 or are those outside of it?
Jigsaw, yeah. So Jigsaw's 8 and Spiral's 9, and then X is 10.
And apparently 10 was like critically. I have not seen these new ones. I've seen all the first 6.
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I've seen the first 6, and then I have jumped off the bandwagon.
I sadly seen every single one.
I heard 10 was good though.
10 was fine. We talked about it.
11, I mean, this one Reddit user. Sorry, he says this is a Reddit user, so I went to the dark side, which is Reddit, to read this. This one person says, "This is a massive fumble. All the public goodwill that and interest that Saw 10 managed to breathe into the franchise will be dissipated by the time Saw 11 is released, if it doesn't come on time, or if it's half-baked." I completely agree. I feel like if you build up goodwill, you need to really like use that momentum to create another passion-driven project. The deal with Saw 11 is like you can't release movies for the sake of releasing them. Give it some time to breathe, and maybe that means giving it a further back release date.
Because we just got this new one, like not even a year ago. Like if this next movie releases when they want it to release, then the movie would have been released not even a year later than when 10 came out.
Give it some time to breathe. That's my biggest complaint. Because, I mean, you look at Saw 2, Saw 1, Saw 3 even. You look at all these original films, and they're just, like, awesome classics. I don't know. I just feel as though you can't really You need to let some things be in the past and move on. That's what they had to do with Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, they tried to make a remake of it, and I kind of enjoyed the remake, but a lot of people didn't, and they have yet to touch the franchise since then, and I think that's been for its benefit.
I think a big thing is make something new. You know, like clearly you have something good that you've done, and you know that you can make something good. And like I from a business point of view, I get it because people are it's like, would you rather go see this movie that you never heard of before, or go watch the new Saw movie? Like I hate that. No, that's not. As a consumer, I don't like it, but as a business, I get it because what's going to make more money? Like the new Saw is going to make more money. More people are going to want to go see the new Saw movie. But hear me out. The reason that Saw is where it is today is because the first movie did really good. And a lot of franchises are like that because you had a new idea that are really good. And it feels like they're really afraid to make anything new because they don't want to lose money. And again, I get that. But as a consumer, I fucking hate that.
These things being profit driven is just like really crappy at the end of the day. If you're okay with it, I mean, that kind of leads into the next thing I'd like to talk about, which is a TV show that third season just came out. And I have begun watching this show. It's awesome. It's called Yellow Jackets. It's on Showtime, but you can get it on Prime.
I've heard of Yellow Jackets. Yeah,
I've just started, so I'm still in season 1, but it's a really good TV show. Yellow Jackets is about a high school girls soccer team, and they basically have a plane crash in the wilderness, and all the players turn into tribes. Some of them are cannibalistic, and some of them are good. They go to war with one another. It's very much in the same vein as Lord of the Flies, if you've ever heard of that.
I was just about to say that. I was like, it sounds like Lord of the Flies.
It's like a modern take on that, and it's super cool. It's a very cool premise. Mm-hmm. It's a very cool premise, and it's really freaky, like some of the aesthetics that they're playing with here, and like the outfits and stuff like that. So I super recommend people hop on that. I'm excited to actually catch up with the series. Really fun though, and very Lord of the Flies inspired. You can tell.
This just kind of also brought up a topic since we were already talking about like Hollywood and like not making original stuff. There's one thing that I want to add. I didn't put this on the doc, or I didn't plan on talking. I didn't tell you that I wanted to talk about this, but it is just something I just now remembered. Have you heard about the new Until Dawn movie that's coming out?
Yes, I have.
Have you heard about what the premise is going to be about?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
So let me go on and kind of explain it for you while you're looking it up. So basically, Until Dawn, for anybody who doesn't know, is a PS3 game that was made on the PS4 as well, and it was remade for the PS5. It was recently remastered for the PS5. Basically, long story short, there's a serial killer. You play as different characters. You have to get through you go through the night, and then you find out there's a whole bunch of other weird shit going on besides the serial killer that is chasing you. Like there's skinwalkers or wendigos. And basically, it's just about surviving the night, and you can pick and choose who dies, who lives, and you could try to make everybody live, or you could accidentally kill everyone, or on purpose if you're a fucking psycho. Anyways, what the movie is doing is they're starting it off as the serial killer, and then when someone dies, it brings them back to life, and it becomes a different horror topic. So it then goes into the Wendigos, and then if you die again, you basically come back to life, and something else is going on. Like it's now a fucking like an alien coming after you. Like it changes. It goes through different horror stuff, and it changes it. And to me, and what I told my fiance was, I think that is a really good idea for a horror movie. Why are you putting it under the name Until Dawn? Like, that's stupid. Like, in my opinion, like it doesn't make sense.
I had the exact same opinion. As you were explaining that, I was like, whoa, this is like really freaking cool. Why are they calling it Until Dawn?
And they're making it out like the same thing, the same premise. 8 kids like come back to the mountains after a year after the sisters died. A fucking Rami Malek, but it's not actually Rami Malek. Is it?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I don't like that. Like I thought it sounded like a cool movie, you know? Like
it sounds like a really cool movie.
Like it sounds
the game
like,
was awesome.
Yeah, the game's awesome, but like I think it takes that like spin of like Happy Death Day, and it takes that like where it's like kind of like Groundhog's Day, but it changes into like different horror monsters that are coming after you. I'm like, that sounds cool, you know? Like that's a good idea. But why are you putting it under the name Until Dawn? Until Dawn has had a name for almost 10 years plus, like over a decade. Why are we changing it?
It goes back to that, like, as you were saying, the finance. It's like they're trying to get money off of this, like, title.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate, but hopefully they do something good with it. I mean, we could just ignore the name and see how it does.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I'm interested to see how that film goes, because that sounds really fun, though.
Dude, I'm going to get roasted on fucking TikTok.
For that take.
Yes. Everyone's gonna be like, what are you talking about? Great idea. The best idea I've ever heard.
Hater. Name one creative thing you've done in your life.
Wrongo. Like, fucking. It's just.
How about you make a movie and come back?
I was just about to say that. So, how about you make a movie idea?
Dude, I know, but I like that. I'm happy we covered that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too much into it because it wasn't in the plan.
No, that's totally cool. I didn't know anything about it at all, so that's awesome. Cool. We are hopping over to one video game we're covering today, and that is an update on a thing we've covered in the past. So an arc we are connecting to today is Call of Duty Zombies. And we are not only talking about Call of Duty, we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops, right?
Black Ops 6.
Black Ops 6 Zombies. And for those of you who don't know, because I realize we need to kind of preface this, is that Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies is a game mode in the Call of Duty franchise. Hang with me for a second, where you go in there and you survive as many rounds as possible, fending off against zombies. Yeah. So that's what it is, and it's like round based. It's very much like an arcade game, and they come out with different maps and different storylines in the game mode, so people can have fun. Anyways, a new map has dropped entitled The Tomb, and I have not been playing it because I've been super busy lately, but Jonathan has been playing it, and we're going to get a little update from him on the state of play with Call of Duty Zombies.
So I don't hate it. Let me put it like that first. I don't dislike zombies. You know, zombies is always going to hold a special place in my heart. I remember the first time I played zombies at Taylor's house. I remember the first time I played one of my favorite zombies like games, Black Ops 3 at Taylor's house. I remember, do you remember that? Do you remember, like, it was like 2015. Was
it Black Ops 1?
It was midnight. No, it was Black Ops 3. It was midnight release of Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
You had a football game to go to because you were in the marching band, and I went there with you, and we stayed up all night, you know, waiting for the midnight release. We got to the midnight. We stayed up, played it, and I think we stayed up till like the crack of dawn. And like we played Shadows of Evil and like the Giant so fucking much.
Oh, dude, memories.
It was so fun.
Those are the two maps that we played that came out that night. So yeah, that was super fun. I remember us staying up.
So anyways, the reason I'm prefacing all this is because I want everybody to know how like deep of a connection Zombies has to like my gaming experience. It is a big part of it. I love it. It's like, you know, it's something I'm always going to remember. Black Ops 6 is good. I always said it. But there's like a whole thing going on with like the voice actors and everything where they're mad about the voice actors are getting replaced, like the ones for the storyline that they're trying to do. Like Samantha, the girl who's played Samantha since World at War or since Black Ops 1 has already been replaced.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't want to sign a contract where Activision is allowing to use their voices as AI to pay them less. And they don't want they don't want their voices to be used as AI, so they might get replaced. So like Nolan North, who has been Richtofen since World at War, is probably going to get replaced as Richtofen if we ever get him back. So the recent cutscene for the Tomb, like the ending cutscene, there was no dialogue from these characters. It was a cutscene, but there's no dialogue from them.
That sucks that they're trying to like abuse their voices by taking it and like having the rights to AI it.
Yeah, so we're basically missing story elements that wasn't supposed to be like that because they don't want their voices to be used by AI, you know? Like,
yeah,
like I understand that 100%. So you're telling me that you want to pay me less and not use me, you know, it's stupid. It is 100% stupid. And it's so fucking greedy. Like, how much money do we need to pull out of fucking anybody, even the actors who are making the stuff come to life? You know, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 100%.
That's so messed up. All right. Okay. So our main segment for today is 20 Question Horror with Jonathan and Taylor. And Jonathan, I've added a little bit of a stipulation with this game that you have yet to know about that you're going to agree to.
Uh-oh.
Jonathan and I will either choose a horror franchise or a horror character, and the other person has 20 guesses to try to figure out who that character is. Now, if I guess Jonathan's thing right, or if Jonathan guesses my thing right, that person has to, for the next Fear Talk Radio episode, dress up as that character.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, you have to agree to it.
What if both of us get it?
Then we both have to dress up for the next one.
So, okay. All right.
So, also,
are we doing characters or movies?
You can do whatever you'd like. So it can be either a character or a movie. If it is a movie, it has to be the main like antagonist, I guess, you know. All right, so do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I want to try to guess. I want to try to guess first.
Let me make sure I'm okay with this answer in my head.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm like shit. Because me, I'm thinking I'm like, how am I gonna draw? Because I already had one like movie in mind.
Okay, so what Jonathan and I are gonna do is we're both going to do 2 rounds, and the first round is gonna be a quote unquote practice round. Him and I both are not gonna have any stipulations. We won't have to dress up as this character if it ends up like being found,
or the movie, however we want to do it.
Yeah. So okay, do you want to go first or would you like me to go first?
I want to try to guess. So
okay, cool. I got mine in my head for the first practice round. This is not counting.
Question number 1: were you released before the year 2000?
Yes, it was released before 2000.
It was released before 2000. Okay. Is this someone who is pretty well known in the horror like scenery?
Yes.
Like a huge face?
Yes.
Is this someone that you could find a costume for at Halloween Express?
Yes.
Is this a movie that has multiple movies tied to it? Is it a movie that has more than 5?
Yes.
Is this a movie that has more than 10?
No.
Okay. So I'm down to 7 questions, and what I got so far is it's a main horror movie person, and it was released before 2000, and it has multiple movies. Is this a movie a lot of people would consider a classic?
100%.
Does your main antagonist wear a mask?
Somewhat, not really. Not for who they are. But some might consider it a mask, but it's not really a mask.
I have like 2 guesses so
Okay.
far. I don't know if I want to use those guesses right away, but I do because I
Okay.
want to go and get them out of the way. So I'm at question 9. So if I guess these 2, that'll get me down to 11. Down I'm at 11 questions.
Yeah.
Is this Hellraiser?
Not Hellraiser.
Is this Freddy Krueger?
Not Freddy Krueger.
Fuck. All right. So no mask, horror icon, and you said somewhat of a mask. Is your character really tall?
No.
That might have just given it away. I think that one just gave it away. Is it Chucky?
It's Chucky.
It's Chucky. Okay.
Okay, cool. Your turn now.
All right. So this is the practice round. All right.
Practice round, Jonathan.
All right.
Okay. Question number 1. Is this a character or a movie?
You don't that won't count as a question.
Oh.
It's a movie.
Okay.
So just
cool.
it's a movie.
It's a movie. Is the main antagonist from this movie a demon?
No.
Okay. Is the main antagonist from this movie a singular character?
No.
Is the main antagonist from this movie a virus of sorts?
No.
Is the main antagonist of this movie able to breed with other things?
As in, like, can it have sex?
Can it like create more of itself?
I mean, like, biologically, yeah, but it doesn't do that.
Or is the antagonist in this film set to one specific location?
Yes.
Is it short?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a guess. Is it Children of the Corn?
Nope.
Darn, I thought that was definitely going to be it.
You might not get this. This is a stupid one.
Okay, is it a stupid one? Is this a well-known horror franchise? Damn.
I don't want to say yes. So I'm going to say maybe to some people's hearts.
Okay.
But no, it's not.
Is it the Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No. That's. I would say that Killer Clowns from Outer Space is more known than this one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it Gremlins?
No.
Gremlins is really well known.
It is. Gremlins is a very popular one. You gotta be more specific with your questions, bud. Can't just ruin them all by guessing.
Is the main protagonist in this film a teenager?
No.
Okay. Oh, I might have asked this. Did I ask if it was a franchise?
No, you didn't.
Is it a franchise?
Like franchise doesn't mean it has more than one movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it less than 5? Is it 5 or less?
So the originals had only 2, and then they basically remade the movies. They remade the movies, and I think they made 2. So it's 4 movies in total.
Yeah. Is it The Hills Have Eyes?
No.
I definitely thought it would be that.
That was a good guess. That was a good guess. Can I give you a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint, and this will count as 1. This will be 15.
It has a lot. So the remakes had a lot of fan service. And for those who don't know, fan service basically means it has a lot of a lot of they're going to show a lot of cleavage of women. They're going to show and they play around that a lot to get the attraction of fans. Fan service.
I am so stumped. So stumped.
You're not gonna get this.
Have I even seen these movies?
I think so. I don't think. I don't know.
Have you seen these movies?
I've seen the original and I've seen the remake first one. I haven't seen the second ones of either.
Okay. That's 16. Is the main antagonist a animal?
Yes.
Is it the Pooverse?
No.
I have 2 more.
You have 2 more?
2 more, yeah. Was it set in the woods?
No.
I have to guess for this last one.
You have to. Well, okay. I'll give you this last question and then you can guess. How about that?
Okay, last question. Is there a video game based off of it?
I need to check, actually. Taylor, you're not going to believe this. But yes. There is.
Okay.
There is a mobile game.
What? Okay.
For
My
iOS
final
and
guess.
Android.
My final guess is Cabin in the Woods.
No.
Okay, what is it?
It's Piranha.
No shot I would ever have gotten that.
Have you seen those movies?
No, I've only seen
Okay.
like commercials for it.
Okay. But
Yeah. No, wow. I never would have gotten that.
yeah, so Piranha was originally made back in like 1978. And the second one was made like in 82. They remade the movies in like 2010. And I remember
that was good though.
and I hated those commercials because it was about the piranhas being at the water park in the lake. And you asked me if it was set in a certain setting, and I was like, oh my god, yes. Like, come on, like water. Like the water.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man.
So it was either that one or I was gonna do the Deep Blue. The Deep Blue is with Samuel L. Jackson. They're like in like some underground water facility, and then there's like sharks and the place is flooding.
Are you ready for our legit round?
I am. Yes.
Let me make sure I'm happy with my answer.
Can I say for one of the rounds, I'm not gonna do it. I thought I was gonna do rubber.
Yeah, I would have. I don't even know what that is.
It's about a killer tire. You never heard of rubber?
Is it going to be even possible for me to get the one you have guessed?
Yes.
Okay. I have mine.
Okay. All right, I got mine. Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go on me first.
Okay.
Here, guys, this is for all the marbles now. Jonathan guesses this. I have to dress up as it for the next ep.
All right. Question number 1. I'm going to like kind of repeat the questions I did last. Not like all of them, but I'm going to try to like obviously there's only so many questions you can ask. Are you an iconic horror character?
Somewhat.
Ooh. Do you have more than 6 films?
By God, we do.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Question number 3. Is this set on Earth?
Okay, I'll give you this. One of the films is not set on Earth.
I have a guess.
Okay.
Is it Friday 13th?
Nope.
Fuck. You see why I guessed that though, right?
That is an iconic person. I would have said yes.
Yeah, I did. Fuck. I did say. I did ask if it was iconic, and there's definitely more than 7 films for that. Because the one they're in space is X410.
Yeah.
Fuck. Question number 5. Is your antagonist from Earth?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Is your antagonist? Hi.
Hey.
Also, this is my fiance.
Hi.
Were these movies released before the year 2000?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, the first 4 were.
The first 4 were released before 2000?
Yeah.
But the last 4 weren't?
Yep.
How does that make sense?
It means they've been like going on.
Oh, and there's like a prequel.
Or it just means like they've been going on.
Yeah, they were just made before 2000, and then the next 4 were made after 2000.
You said 4 were made before 2000 and 4 were made after? So there's 8.
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
8 in total.
Yeah.
I didn't ask that, but okay.
Hey, you need it.
Is there more than one killer?
No.
Have we talked about this on the podcast before? Like
We've
anything,
brought it up.
anything to do with this character or this movie?
We've brought it up before.
We've brought it up.
I can't read that.
Shut up. I have bad hit. This is what it looks like. You won't be able to see it.
I can't read that at all.
I know it. I'm just putting it down a little bit.
Hey, I will. If you want to give up one of your questions, I'll give you a quote from the movie.
Sure. Let's do that.
This old Lep, he played pogo on his lung.
This old Lep, he played pogo on his what?
Lung.
Lung? Do you know what that is?
I don't know. What did he say?
He played what? He played he played
Here.
Can
I'll give you
say
another
back
quote.
what he said?
You give me another quote. Hold on, I don't want to use that many.
I'll give you this one for free.
This one for free? All right.
For this trick, I'll chop off your dick.
For this trick, I will chop off your dick. Sounds like some Chucky ass shit.
Wait, what was the first one? He said Is it a leprechaun? That's not my guess. But I'm like, is that what he said?
Is it the leprechauns?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the leprechaun. Yeah, it's the leprechaun.
Was that cheating? Because I had Colleen here.
Nope.
Me,
ruined everything!
me and leprechauns just get each other, man. Look at me.
Yeah, fucking
I look like
redhead.
one.
I feel I had a little bit of help. So Taylor, so here's what we'll do. If you can guess mine, then you don't have to dress up. Neither of us will have to dress up.
No. You have to dress up.
You want ChatGPT on your side?
I get ChatGPT on my side since you had Colleen.
That's fine.
First question, is this a well-known franchise?
I'd say it's a well-known franchise.
Is the main antagonist of this a creature?
Yes.
Does this take place on Earth?
Yes.
Does this take place in the woods?
Yes.
Is the antagonist multiple things?
Yes.
Are there multiple movies?
Yes.
Were these movies released before 2000?
They were not released before 2000.
Are these movies positively seen? Like, are they seen in a positive light?
Yeah.
Does the main antagonist have special abilities, paranormal?
Yes.
Were commercials running of this whenever it came out?
Yes.
Does this thing only come out during a certain time?
No.
Okay, here's a guess.
Okay.
Is it the Evil Dead series?
No.
Ooh. Is it something we've talked about before on the pod?
Yes. Once.
I know what it is, I think.
You know?
Is it The Ritual?
No.
Is it a virus?
No.
Are the movies in the found footage style?
No.
Okay, I got it. Is it Jeepers Creepers?
Nope. That's a good guess, but no.
Okay, I got it. Is it The Conjuring?
No.
Ah!
If you ask these last two as a question, and then you can use your then you can guess. How about that?
Okay. Does this take place ever in the water?
No. I don't think ChatGPT is going to help him.
This is so hard. Have we seen this movie?
I know I have. I think you have. I believe you have. Should I give you a hint?
Yeah.
The creature that we are talking about is missing one of its 5 senses.
A Quiet Place.
Fuck!
Who are you going to dress up as? Don't tell me you're about to dress up as
John Krasinski. No, I'm being a little girl that's deaf.
This is what you have to dress up as, Jonathan. You already know what I'm sending you.
How did you guess it? Was that last?
That was just such a good last.
That was such a good last guess.
You have to dress up as this now.
Oh God, what do I have to dress up as?
How are you gonna do that?
How about mind your own business? I'll figure it out.
That is a great question. We were supposed
no.
to be dressing up as these things. How are you going to do that?
I thought you wouldn't get it. I will figure it out, and that is for me to figure out, and you to not worry.
You have to at least come as something related to that film next time, and I'll be the leprechaun.
Okay. All right.
Now on to our final part of today. All right, so our story of today is titled The Most Disturbing Story Ever. And this is written by someone who his name is not listed on here, maybe for good reasons. Let me just put a preface on this too. There's a big warning at the top that says, do not read this if you have a weak stomach or are highly sensitive to the activity in the horror genre. Otherwise, if you are perfectly comfortable with graphic material, feel free to proceed. Reader discretion is advised. So that's just a forewarning, and I've already read a little bit of it, and I don't know if this is going to be good, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think you don't have a lot of, especially if you're doing a short one, which I think this will take us like 10 minutes to read. I
Yeah.
I don't think you have a lot of time to build characters, get a attachment, and make us care. So
Yeah.
if we anything that we say, like don't be upset with it, because like we couldn't do any better. So
Yeah. So, and this kind of like struck my interest just because the most disturbing story ever being the title is like kind of crazy. So, okay, cool. Let's do this.
all right.
It started a long time ago when I was 10. I've lived the worst kind of life anybody would ever imagine. My mom died whenever I was just 2, and my father abandoned me. My uncle was a crazed killer who murdered and mutilated victims with a chainsaw, and my grandfather was not willing to take care of me. I was left with my uncle for the majority of my life. So we're already starting off hitting with this guy.
I love it when people are like when stories start like, I have the worst childhood you could ever think of.
My uncle was a crazed killer. He murdered and mutilated victims with a chainsaw.
This is off topic, but I love it when people like write their like try to write their original characters into things that already exist. So like,
Yeah.
so they're like, "Hi, I go to this high school with these characters. Like, I am a Harry Potter wizard. My parents died when I was 3, and my father did bad things to me before he died, and then my uncle came in and did bad things as well. But now I'm here with Harry Potter and all the people you know."
Did I mention that he murdered people with chainsaw? Okay, cool.
All right.
When I was 16 or so, something changed. I had stopped listening to my uncle. I became a highly popular student in school. And you may think those two things are great, but I'm about to get into something that may make you think otherwise. I asked my uncle permission, and he immediately allowed me to invite my best friend Tristan over that afternoon after school. Tristan was willing and instantly agreed to come over. He also came from a similarly heinous background. He told my uncle.
His uncle also killed people with chainsaws.
Well, he actually did it with machete.
I guess you could say we're alike.
Or I guess you could say, well, like, he doesn't really get the chainsaw, though. He told my uncle about himself, and listening to his story, my uncle became maliciously intrigued. I was a bit disturbed and wanted to turn around for the better. But it was something that I knew my uncle wouldn't be happy about. Tristan agreed to stay for the next 2 weeks, and he told his parents about it. He and I actually live right across the street from each other, and these nights sounded like great things. But we both had twisted minds and were obsessed with disturbing things. What is happening?
What the hell? Like, I feel like we're just getting like teased. Like, it's like, then something changed. Well, my best friend came over, then something disturbing happened. So
This
we were
is
doing
crazy.
this thing.
My uncle is a chainsaw murderer, and I'm into really disturbing things. Okay, this is already really great. Me and Tristan were watching a slasher movie one Friday night. It was heavily stormy outside, and we noticed how gruesome each of the scenes were. It ended with the protagonist, Cap and Dan, being given to a huge alligator or something as a snack. However, after that, it wasn't satisfied, and we saw the creature turn around and wreak havoc in town. Seeing how horrific it was, Tristan decided to replicate a similar horror scene in real life. Wait, what does he mean by that?
We went out and just killed everyone. It wasn't satisfying enough.
Did Tristan just like crash out and like go have like like a horror scene? And what does that mean?
I don't know.
We then turned on the movie The Darkness of the Night and were genuinely disturbed, but also intrigued at what we saw. There was a man inside a torture chamber, sitting in front of what appeared to be a chainsaw. A second and third man were standing behind him, one of them walking behind the torture machine, or what it appeared to be. The first man tied to the chair started to scream in fear and beg for mercy, but was not giving it, as the second man, apparently wanting nothing to do with this man, who didn't even do anything to him, shoved him in the face. Okay, this is written insane. I'm going to read this verbatim, how it's written. The first man tied to the chair started to scream in fear and beg for mercy, comma, but was not given it, as the second man, comma, apparently wanting nothing to do with the man who didn't do anything
In
to
parentheses.
him, shoved, in parentheses, shoved his face into the now spinning blade and continued to shove his now dead body into it, killing the innocent man.
Why are you having so many commas in one fucking sentence?
Also, he's explaining this movie very terribly. So it's basically just two guys, and he's pushing one dude into a spinning blade. Yeah. Okay. Back to the story. Following the event, they threw his body now into the incinerator where they burned it to ashes. In the next part of the movie, we saw two people walking into the woods when a large creature, supposedly Bigfoot, ran at them and attacked them. Me and Tristan decided to go for it ourselves.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I think we're about to find out. We borrowed my uncle's giant chainsaw he had built before I was born and decided to lure some of society's people in by inviting them into our home for companionship, only to reveal our true colors by murdering them on the saw. Okay, so is this written by an alien? Like we lured them in, offering companionship.
This is definitely like written as like a fucking. This is definitely either written by like a preteen or like a teen, like a just born teenager.
Yeah, they
like that's like this is how the dark mind works.
We offered them companionship. That's how we got them here.
So we were watching these movies and we were very intrigued, but not satisfied. So what we did is we decided we're gonna kill them ourselves. So we're gonna show them how it's done. Comma.
I decided I would go for the craziest technique. I used my uncle's automatic semi-splitters, a device used to attach people to two huge wooden planks spiked on opposite sides. When pulled, it would dislocate the arms, legs, or whatever grabbed onto the body. And pulled it, me on the left and Tristan on the right. We tied a person's legs to the plank and yanked hard, causing the planks alongside the person's legs to split further apart, ripping the ass in two and instantly ending the life. What is happening here? What is this? What? So they're just doing it because they watched a movie and their uncle's a crazy chainsaw killer?
Yeah, what is that? Like, I had a very traumatic backstory.
My parents were both killed. Okay, and the uncle has yet to come back. We just know that he built a chainsaw.
So I'm just very confused on like they're just like immediately like, oh, we watched these horror movies one Friday night, and then all of a sudden, I just felt the urge to kill,
murder,
and we were just killing everyone. In this one night, we split this one dude in half, and then we got an 85-year-old man, which was the part that's coming up next, and it's like.
So here's the deal. This is like exactly what I think like conservatives are super afraid that video games will do to people. I watched this video game and I decided to murder society. I played GTA 5 one time.
I'm gonna go with a way, take someone's car and go sleep with prostitutes.
Prostitutes, yeah. Okay, back to the story. We later put an 85-year-old man on a plank tied to the chair. The first man was brought in and brought him closer to the saw, watching as it cut him in half and instantly killed him. Then we threw his body out on the curb, watching all night as a giant sewer gator emerged and took it to his lair for consumption. What? There's a giant sewer gator. There's a giant sewer gator now.
Dude, see, yeah, wait, hold on. So, it's funny because all I'm thinking is like, because I'm like, how did they get the 85-year-old? Like, hey, do you mind? You're like, come inside. Okay. Like, no, it's not how that works. Like,
dude, they
and then all of a sudden a sewer gator. Like, holy shit! Like, call the fucking. I don't know who to call.
Jonathan, we have been blessed. This story has given us creature feature, slasher, body horror. It's given us everything.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't ask for much more than
dude,
this.
I don't know if I can take this, bro. This is a little too intense.
Dude, I can't either, guys. We were about.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to read from here, or do you
yeah,
want me to try?
Give the next paragraph a go.
All right. The next thing we did was trick the next people onto the scene into walking in. Wait, were they doing this? Just wait. What do you mean walking in? Like into walking in? Like into the house? I thought they were doing this in the
I
house.
Well, they were using their wit and charm to get people to come into their house to do the murders. But now the next thing we did was trick the next people on the scene into walking in. I
Uh,
believe that they're just luring people in like with a carrot, as you would do with a pig in
Jesus
Minecraft.
Christ. All right. Tristan did the killing while I threw the remains into the sewer.
For the gator.
Yeah, for the gator. The sewer gators. Of course, because every sewer has gators. By the time morning came, however, we remained inactive. I eventually realized that my uncle was the cause for everything, while me and Tristan were just fugitives. I ran into his room and confronted my uncle for everything he put us through. I decided initially that sawing him to death was the best option, but decided otherwise when I decided otherwise when I thought I should quote unquote forgive him. Then quickly turned the tables. I told him this. He sighed to the point of passing out. I'm sorry, that was a very confused sentence.
That makes no sense. So he went, and he just passed out. Wait, I'm so confused.
He's just like, just now a zombie.
What is happening, dude? So you're blaming all the serial killing you've done on your uncle because it's somehow his
Yeah.
fault, and then you decide we're just gonna murder him, and then whenever you confront him, he sighs really hard and he falls asleep.
So you're mad at your uncle for making you a killer. So to fix that, you're going to kill him.
Dude, I think we're trying to use logic where there is none.
Seeing this, I thought of an opportunity to get rid of him. Me and Tristan.
Okay, he sighed. He sighed.
Yes.
Now, dude sees his opportunity to get rid of this uncle.
Yeah. He just keeps telling him things. Just to make him pass out. Eventually he'll pass out, right? So
You're the reason.
Yeah, so I failed that spelling bee today. Me and Tristan, feeling empathy for our actions, told the police everything. They responded and by telling us that we were related to one of the worst killers throughout all of society, and we stated that we have no involvement. He agreed with us. First off, not how that works, but okay. By the next day, we didn't get my uncle arrested. Instead, we were told that it would be best to get rid of him inside the sewers by a friend. And we decided that it was the best move, considering that my uncle would likely escape from prison or continue to cause havoc while incarcerated. We threw him, now waking up, into the sewers and closed the manhole cover on him.
The cops have just told them that it's probably best that you get rid of your uncle by feeding him to the giant sewer gator.
Well, hold on. We threw him, now waking him like they threw him in there, and then now they're like, hey, get up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, my uncle was clearly horrified and tried to find an exit, but failed to do that all the time. He then saw that the manhole was covered and tried to open it. However, he was, of course, unsuccessful. We then heard his screams below as the giant gator living in there grabbed him and dragged him down to the tunnels to probably eat him.
Probably.
We later figured... I know. Like, what else is he going to do with him? We later figured out that my uncle was, in fact, eaten.
Oh.
When we went into the sewers, we saw nothing of either the gator nor my uncle. Eventually, however, we did catch a glimpse of my uncle's remains, along with the gator sleeping in a giant pipe next to his remains. All that remained of my uncle was his right arm, a leg, and one eye. From that day forward, I finally found my father and lived with him and my grandmother. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. I woke up one night with a hint of brightness in my room coming from the outside. I looked out to the window and saw that the back porch light was on. There was nobody out there, but I did see a figure sitting at the bottom of the backyard swimming pool. I realized upon closer inspection that it was a giant alligator. I also heard strange noises coming from all around the outside of my house, like moaning, thumps, and tapping on the windows, as well as chimes being pushed. I have no idea what these sounds were, but me and my dad are certain that the supernatural force of the ghost of my uncle is coming back for revenge against me for what I did to him. I have to get out of here soon. art, art, art. That was amazing.
That was cinema.
I didn't. Okay, I wouldn't have chosen it if I knew it was gonna be that.
Father abandons him, and then he kills his uncle, and then he's like, "Daddy, I have found you. I am now coming to live with you." Like, oh, great, cool. And then in the backyard, it's a fucking alligator. It's a dark figure. It's the alligator. And then the chimes start fucking. First off, this is probably a stupid question. Are there alligators in the sewer?
Are sewer gators real? Let me look it up.
I think like in maybe some area. This is like a guy who watched like an
No. Sewer gators are not a real thing.
Yeah, like this is a guy who watched like a animated movie. Like there was like alligators in the sewer, and it was like, oh yeah, so there's just alligators in the sewer. Or like someone like his like family told him that as like a joke, and he believed it.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, bro, there's literally alligators in the sewer.
There's
like,
alligators, dude.
Oh, you fucking idiot! Like, duh. Well, there's water. Like, do people like? I don't because I'm like the sewer is like it goes to a plant, and then the sewer water turns into like drinking water. Like, how did an alligator get in there?
No, this is the craziest story ever. He was like, I mean, there's so many twists and turns. It's hard for me to keep up with. I thought we were gonna start with like the uncle being like the main antagonist, but it turns out our protagonist was the antagonist from the get-go, and it was somehow his fault. That was very difficult to read.
That was not for the reason they wanted it to be.
Yes,
not for the most disturbing horror. Not for the most disturbing story ever.
But at the end of the day, if you are a kid, if the author is like a kid or something like that,
this is all just jokes. Like, please don't.
Yeah. Like,
dude, Taylor, my flag just fell down. The alligator's coming.
Dude, the giant croc is coming.
Dude, it was actually good timing because my flag actually did just fall down.
Today we've covered so much. We're gonna leave you guys with one rec. And Jonathan, you want to take the rec away?
No, Demon Gator's gonna get me. So our recommendation of this week, and this is something I will always talk about for people to go check out. There's a lot of horror indie games out there that are made by some really great people. This one has a lot of the same elements of Lethal Company, and has a lot of the same elements of like Phasmophobia, Lethal Company, all these like not like fun horror games, like indie horror games that a lot of people enjoy. And it's called r.e.p.o. r.e.p.o. It was called r.e.p.o. or r.e.p.o. And I don't know much about it, but I do plan on playing it with some friends. And I've been seeing a lot of clips on it from TikTok. I see the trailer. It looks like a lot of fun. And it looks like something.
It looks like a fun party game.
Yeah, it looks like something that like you and your friends would play like a couple of times, and you'll get your money's worth. Like because it's only like $8.
It looks like it's marketing itself as physics-based horror, so you can like throw around different objects and stuff like that, which looks pretty cool. And the characters look very like
animated, like very like cartoony.
Yeah, very cartoony, very animated, but. Yeah, this looks like a fun time. I'd love to play it with you.
So
Jonathan.
it says an online co-op horror game up to 6 players, fully physics-based objects and handle them with care as you retrieve and extract to satisfy your creator's desires. So it has a lot of the same elements of Lethal Company. The difference is your stuff is breakable, so you could actually end up breaking your shit. And I'm sure the stuff around can like hear you. And wants to, like can hear like the sounds and hear you talking, hear the stuff you break, and you could accidentally hit your friends with this kind of stuff, and it'll like hurt them. And it just looks fun, looks wacky, and I think honestly, it looks fun, and I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game. With that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Please look forward to stuff we have in the future, some future projects. Also, potentially, there or actually not potentially, there's a new solo series going up on the channel of video essays and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoy those and check them out. Those are going to be like little solo project on the side apart from the podcast. And yeah, if you have any wants for the podcast, anything for us to do, please leave it in the comments below. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Toodaloo.
Goodbye. I'm gonna pass out.
Watch out for giant crocs.